right, listen up. This is the Music Scene Podcast. I'm your host, Dave Cudrak. I've gotten a little bit away from doing these intros prior to episodes, so I just wanted to jump in here real quick. This episode is with a remarkable woman by the name of Marla Cannon-Goodman. She's a Nashville songwriter. She's had lots of success co-writing and getting songs cut from major artists. Her biggest claim to fame probably is writing a song called The Fool for Lee Ann Womack. And we talk all about it in this conversation. It was a great, great pleasure speaking to Marla. If you're looking for performances by Marla at the end of this episode, there are links to YouTube clips in the description here. So make sure you click on those and watch those videos. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy my conversation with Marla. Yeah, so thank you very much for taking the time to speak with me. I'm excited to talk to you ever since I saw you at the Bluebird.
Yeah, that was a fun night.
Yeah. So, so I did a little bit of research. I know you've had a number of songs, cut from, by various artists. You've got your own music out and all that stuff too. Like you're not just a songwriter in Nashville. You also have music released under your name as well.
Yes.
So I guess the one main question that I was always curious about talking to different songwriters and stuff, how do you decide what song is going to be recorded by somebody else or cut, as they say, by somebody else, or what song you're going to release on your own? Like, are there kind of rules around it being a professional songwriter, or do you just say, nah, this one's not for me, I'll give it to somebody else? How does that work?
Well, I never was in the market to make a record. My dad I have two of them that are out, and Dad told me I needed to do the first one just because I was playing a lot of shows, and he was like, you need to have something for them they want to buy it, so you need to have it. So I did the first one for that. And the second one, I had a song that I wanted to pitch to Alison Krauss, and I needed to do a work tape of it. And I called Josh Martin and I said, hey, will you do a work tape with me? It gets the guitar vocal. And when I did it, and I sent it to my dad, and he called me back and he goes, you need to do a whole record just like this. Nice. So that's the perfect imperfection. That's literally Josh Martin's playing every instrument on it, except for Mickey Raphael's playing harmonica, I think, on something on that one.
Okay, cool.
And then, but my dad and Melanie and Josh did all the harmonies on it. So it's just us on the record.
That's so cool. Nice.
But the song, picking the songs, I just picked the ones that are my favorite ones to sing.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Are you registered with like ASCAP or BMI?
Yeah, I've been with ASCAP ever since I started.
ASCAP. Okay, great. And then through them, I'm trying to get an understanding of how kind of the Nashville songwriter scene happens. I mean, do you then pitch songs to somebody and say like, hey, I've got these songs.
I write for Carnival Music.
Music. Okay.
Yes. And so you have a publisher that they actually get meetings. Well, this is how it used to work. Anymore, it's just sending them songs over the computer.
Oh, okay.
You would actually go into somebody's office and sit and play your songs for them.
Okay.
And like, you might have a meeting where you get to play 4 songs. So you would pick the publisher will pick their best 4 songs. And usually there's 7 or 8 writers writing for the publishing company. So you're lucky if you got a song pitched in there.
Okay. Gotcha.
And, but it's still pretty much the same. I mean, it's like, I'll hear something that I wrote and I'll be like, oh, this would be great for so-and-so. Or,
okay.
I could hear so-and-so doing this. Just the other day I was playing at the listening room, and, Tia Sillers played a song, and it was me and Ronnie Bowman were just like blown away by it. And, the next day I was walking up to my, mom and dad's house, and dad was sitting out on the porch. And I said, man, Tia Sillers sang a great song last night. And he goes, what's it called? I said, Goldfish. He goes, I just passed on that.
Oh,
and he said, yeah, for Kenny. And I was like, you passed on? I said, Dad, it sounds like a Roger Miller song. And so I went in the house, and a few minutes later, Dad came in. He goes, I listened to that song again, and I rescinded my pass.
nice.
And it wasn't 2-3 minutes. He was sitting in there, and his phone rang, and it was Kenny. And he's like, I effing love Goldfish. And he said, well, you got Marla to thank for it, because I'd passed on it. She told me I needed to listen to it again.
That's
and
great.
that was on Thursday, and they cut it the following week. And actually Tennille Townes was one of the writers on it, and she got to go in and sing on it with Kenny
That's awesome. Now, when you say Kenny, who are we talking about?
Chesney.
That's what I thought. I didn't want to assume though. So that's
Yeah,
amazing.
my dad produced Kenny Chesney.
Okay, gotcha. That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you get your start? I mean, I assume, you kind of grew up with music because of your dad then, is that right?
I did. I actually played the clarinet. I started playing the clarinet when I was 10.
Mhm.
And our dad was rip roaring when we were young. He was having the time of his life. My mother will tell you that she raised 5 children. She had 3 girls and my dad and Dean Dillon. And so we weren't allowed to really touch his guitars because he didn't have very many,
Mhm.
and they were his livelihood. So, they wouldn't have been able to afford to replace them. And so none of us, me, Melanie, or Michelle, never picked up the guitar. I can play my chords and stuff now. I'm not very confident in myself with it, but
Okay.
I do know my chords, and I know all my chords on the piano also.
Okay.
But again, it just makes me want to throw up when I think about singing and playing at the same time. So I stuck with the clarinet, but I told I actually am on a panel, like a board with my band director from high school. And I told him I'm so thankful for him because he gave me music in the absence of, my dad being there.
Oh, okay.
And so in essence, he saved us a little bit because he gave us the thing that we needed the most.
Right.
And
right.
I went to college to be a nurse. I'm still a nurse. I just don't have to work anymore as a nurse, but
Yeah.
I still have my license. And I was actually working, about to go to work, and I got a phone call from Lana Wood at Major Bob Music, and she said, "What are you doing right now?" And I said, "About to go to work." She said, "What are you doing for work?" And I said, "I'm working as a nurse." And she said, "Are you doing anything at all in the music business?" And I said, "Well, I've been writing some songs." And she said, "I want to hear everything you got." She said, "I had a dream we were on a stage at ASCAP last night." And
Nice.
and so I went in, and she signed me to my first publishing deal, and we ended up on stage at ASCAP together, which was
That's
really
amazing. I remember you told me that story at Bluebird, but that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. So how does the Bluebird work? I've been there twice, as a tourist, and I'm getting, as I understand it, I think does one person get the writers round and then you invite your friends, or
Yeah, sometimes they'll ask you to just jump on around.
okay.
But like that one that you came to was a hospice event, and we actually, I can't even count the times that I've played that hospice event. It just really means a lot to me. And
Mhm.
and my friend Christy that was there, was
Yeah.
their employee of the quarter, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's great.
But that round particular, they asked me if I would do that round, and I got to pick who I wanted to play, and
Mhm.
I love those 3 women that I got to play with.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just do. We've been friends for a long time. Me and Bridget have, and then
Mhm.
Emma and May are. I just started writing with them, and I love them both so much. So
Yeah.
it was really cool.
Yeah, it was a great show. I really enjoyed it. I already knew Emma from just following her on Instagram, and I know she's a beast on guitar, boy. Woo.
Yeah, that's why I had her playing for me.
Yeah. And then it was my first time hearing Bridget Tatum and then May Estes, and
Yeah,
amazing. I mean, like amazing night. It was awesome. I loved it.
yeah, it was really fun for us too. And actually, May's coming over here tomorrow. May just lives down the road from me.
Oh,
When she
nice.
moved, her and her husband bought their first house, and there's another songwriter. His name's Bryce Long, and he's one of our dearest friends. And she moved like literally right smack between the 2 of us.
Oh, awesome.
And we're like, "We got you where we want you now. We're fixing to write all your songs."
Yeah, she's surrounded.
Yes.
That's great. You did also tell a story at the Bluebird about the song "Cleaning This Gun" and how,
Yeah.
and if I remember correctly, I think that kind of the song that may have changed your life in a way, or am I getting it wrong?
No, that one came later.
Okay.
The Fool is the one that was the game
Okay.
changer for me.
Yeah,
It
and you
was
sang that night as well. Yep.
Yeah, and it
Okay.
was Lee Ann Womack's first #1, as well as her husband, is her husband now, Frank Liddell. He actually is the one that took the song to her.
Oh, perfect.
My
Okay.
publisher at Major Bob, Shannon Myers, was our song plugger, and he had a meeting with Frank, and he actually, Frank had heard the song. One of my friends was trying to get a record deal, and she had it on her comp tape where she was going around to different labels trying to get a deal.
Mhm.
And Frank, they had just signed Lee Ann at Decca Records. And so when Gina came there, he's like, sorry, I can't sign you. We just signed somebody that was as country as you are,
Oh, okay. Yep.
And so you fast forward, they start looking for songs. And I have signed a publishing deal with Major Bob, and Shannon went into this meeting with Frank to find songs for Lee Ann. And Frank said that Shannon turned the song on, or handed him the tape, and he
Mhm.
put it was a cassette at the time.
Yep.
He put the cassette in the player and hit play, and he said the music started, and he said that the first line came on, "You don't know me, but I know who you are." He said, "I hit stop, and I turned around and looked him right in the face and said, 'I'm the fool in love with the fool who's still in love with you.'" And Shannon said, "How do you know that?" He said, "I've heard it one time. He said, "Put it on hold." He said,
That's
"That's it."
awesome. Love it.
So, and yeah, it changed all of our lives.
Yeah, I bet.
It made it look easy because it was, you have the best country singer, of our
Right.
time,
Yep.
and she's singing this song that I wrote, and it got nominated for Song of the Year, and we're like, dang, this is easy. And I was
That's
like,
amazing.
not easy.
That's great. So yeah, so like, I mean, it must be very surreal to hear a song that you've written come out of a voice like that and then be on, TV, radio, and then nominated and stuff. Like what's that like? I know that's not a fair question, but
Oh,
what's it
it's
like?
just, it is. Surreal is the right word for it. When we found out that we were getting cut on a new artist that we'd never heard before, my friend Gene he's from Pittsburgh.
Hmm.
He is ever the pessimist.
Okay.
And so he actually said, "She probably can't sing." And I'm like, "Gene, we just got to cut this. Let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy it." And it was, it was the first person I ever sat in a room and wrote a song with was Charlie Steffel. And the second person I ever sat in a room with and wrote a song with was Gene Ellsworth. And the first time the three of us wrote together, we wrote The Fool.
Oh wow.
And yeah, and so it was a first for all of us. It was such a cool thing.
Mm.
And so Gene was raining on my parade, and I said, I got a call from Frank, and he said that they had we're going to put the Nashville strings on our song. Do we want to come over and hear it?
Oh cool.
And I was like, of course we do.
Hmm.
And so we go over to the studio, and when she started singing, it was just like, oh my gosh, it's it's like an angel coming out of the speakers. And as we were walking out of that studio, Gene looks over at me and goes, "She's probably ugly as hell." And then Music Row magazine used to put out an edition. I don't even know if it still does, but it was once a year they would put out an edition that had all the new artists in it, so you could get to know, who's next.
Yeah.
And he called and said, "Have you seen Music Row?" And I said, "No." And he goes, "She's not pictured. I told you she's ugly as hell." And it was like, thank God she came out, and it was like, "Okay, Gene, you lose. She's
Yeah,
not."
right. He's wrong on all accounts.
On all accounts. Then he ended up getting to be in the video.
Oh, really?
He's the guy sitting at the bar in the video.
That's awesome. I love that. That's great. Awesome. So tell me a little bit about your dad, if you don't mind. So, I mean, like, what was kind of his main thing?
All of it.
All of it.
He started out playing in a band.
Mm-hmm.
When he got his first, he was playing with Bob Luman and the four guys in the band. When the band dismantled, the drummer, Joe Halterman, went to play for Ray Price.
Mm-hmm.
The guitar player, Steve Smith, went to play for Larry Gatlin.
Okay. Yep.
And the piano player, Gene Dunlap, went to play for Loretta Lynn.
Wow.
And my dad went to play for Mel Tillis.
That's fantastic.
And and what's crazy is Gene was with Loretta until the very end.
Mm-hmm.
Joe retired when Ray retired.
Yep.
And Steve still plays with Gatlin. I just saw him a couple of months ago in the airport.
Awesome.
Together.
I love that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But Dad played on the road with Mel for like a year. And that first year, Mel cut 4 of his songs on
awesome.
a record.
Yep.
And so then he signed him to a publishing deal, and we wanted him to stay off the road and play and write.
Right. Just right.
So he quit the road, which much to my mom's dismay, because I think he was making like $800 a month. And, when he quit, he's like, that's what he got his songwriter pay was. And she was
Right.
like, I was working 3 jobs just to support 3 kids. So he starts doing that and he starts helping in the publishing company. And then it ends up running the publishing company pretty
wow.
much.
Okay.
And when Polygram bought Mel's company, they wanted Dad with it. So he went into the publishing at Polygram. And when they found out they were opening a record label here, Dad he'd always wanted to make records. And so him and Harold Shedd had a pact, I think, to Harold, Dad recommended Harold for the A&R position. And Harold was going to bring Dad in under him.
That's awesome.
And so that's ended up what happened. He went there and he started doing A&R there. And so he wasn't getting any production work. They weren't letting him produce anybody. And in my brain, I think they might have had an inkling that he was special and,
cool.
Might not have wanted to expose that yet because it was another producer,
Yeah.
And so Dad he brought Shania in, he brought in Billy Ray Cyrus, the Kentucky Headhunters.
Wow.
He was going out and listening to bands and bringing them to the label, and then other people were getting to produce them.
Oh, okay.
And so he finally, Mercury branched off into another record company at Polydor Records, and Luke Lewis stayed at Mercury, and Harold went to Polydor. So Dad left with Harold to Polydor, and in that area he found Sammy.
Okay.
And Sammy got signed, to Mercury, and Dad got to produce him with Nora Wilson. So it started a relationship with Dad and Nora.
Yeah.
And in the middle of that, Kenny came asking him if he could produce him. And at that time, he couldn't. He was in his first act, and they wouldn't let him produce anybody off label.
Oh, wow.
And so, I guess a couple of years in, they Dad and Nora opened Budrow Productions, and when they did, Kenny showed up again and was like, "Can you produce my next record?"
Awesome.
Absolutely, and they've been working together ever since.
Wow, that's fantastic, man.
Yeah.
He sounds like your dad's been through it all. Then that's amazing.
Oh my God, he's amazing. You'll have to call him.
That'd be great. I'd love to have him on. Absolutely. Yeah. So when you were so when did you start kind of getting active in, I guess, the music scene? I mean, have you always been singing from like day one, or?
No, well, we sang everywhere we went,
Sure.
Chorus at school or whatever. I always wrote poems. I wrote poems from the time I was, young. And we were sitting around one day, and Melanie, my younger sister, she's been singing since she was like, she sang on Cry, Cry, Darling when she was 15.
Oh, okay.
Sammy. And we were sitting around with a bunch of our friends because we had our friends, Dad wrote with young people too. So we had friends that were his friends in the music business, that he worked with, but they were our friends. And we were all sitting around one night, and Glenn Allen, this guy from Oregon, said, he called me Maples because at the time Donald Trump was married to Marla Maples. And he said, "Hey, Maples," he goes, "Do you do anything in music?" And my sister piped in and said she writes poems. And he said, "I'd like to read some of them." Nice. So I sent him a few of them. And he called me back like 3 days later and said, "Hey, Maples, listen to this." So, and he sang me one of my poems that I'd written.
Oh, wow. He put music to it?
Yeah, he put music to it. So awesome. He actually played piano for Dina Carter.
Oh, wow.
For a while.
Fantastic. Love that. Yep.
Yeah.
And then that's where it all kind of started for you then? Like
I just started writing, and then Lana called me and wanted me to come in, and once the full, I got married, and once the money started coming in, I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm going to work.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. I love that. Did I read correctly in your biography? You've also written for, was it Eric Church?
Oh yeah, I wrote "Can't Take It With You When You Go."
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I love that song.
It was on the first record.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I love
that. Was probably one of the hardest parts of being. It was the first time as a woman in the business that I felt the sting of being a woman in the business, because the guys, we were all writing together in the same group of friends, and he went on the road, and there were no women allowed on the bus, so the guys all got to go, and I didn't get to go, and so I got. Wow. Yeah, it was a fun time to be, because we wrote a lot of songs together in that time over at Sony.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, let's touch a little bit on that, on what it's like to be, I guess, like a female songwriter and performer, obviously, like in Nashville.
Yeah, for me, that was the one time that it really, I felt the effects of it, because I've always, these guys are all like my brothers, and it's like, I've grown up with them.
Mm-hmm.
That, you know, there's a core group of us that's all started writing about the same time, and we're all still friends. We're all still working together.
Yep. Yep.
And it's really fun. We just went to Vegas for the Vegas Songwriter Festival.
Oh, nice.
And there were 50 of us.
Wow.
And well, I told Rob Hatch, I said, you picked the best group of people to go. It was so fun. I mean, it was Paul Overstreet. It was, Dean Dillon was there. It was everybody that we know was there.
Sure.
I mean, when we got off the plane, that's where I saw Gatlin at the airport. We were coming back from Vegas, and him and Steve come walking up, and Larry goes, "Man, if a bomb went off right now in this place, there wouldn't be a good song come out of Nashville for 5 years."
That's great.
Yeah, because it was Bob DePera. I mean, it was a Victoria Shaw.
Yeah, man.
Everywhere you went, somebody was playing a song you knew.
That's awesome. I love that. What you see? So what was the Songwriters Festival?
It was the first time ever. It was at Mandalay Bay.
Okay.
And we all just were spaced out in different parts of Mandalay Bay. Every show was at Mandalay Bay. I never left that casino.
That's so cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I
spent most of my time on the lazy river there.
Nice. All right. So what does like the day a day in the life of a Nashville songwriter? Like, I mean, are you just constantly writing like every day? Do you co-write? I mean, I assume you co-write lots. I know a lot of people in Nashville do. Do you just sit down and put pen to paper at home sometimes, or do you kind of have like
I write all the time.
Okay.
I mean, I could possibly go off and you'll say something that'll strike something in me, and my brain will be somewhere completely other than where I'm at. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You just once you get on something, you don't want to forget it either. And it's like, oh my God, I got to get to my phone. I got to put it down, sing because I hear melodies in my head all the time. Even though I don't play very well guitar, I do, I bring a lot to the table when I come in because a lot of times I've got a chorus mapped out, or it's a whole dance. Every day's a different dance.
Okay. Gotcha.
And so it's like, I may drive into work one day, and on my way there, I see somebody, drop a bag of groceries on the side of the road and be like, "Oh my God, that's a great way to start a song." And so we start thinking and piecing it together. And by the time I get to where I'm going, we usually come in a room and sit down and we'll start tossing around. First we talk about, hey, what you've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's more like, I had this idea on the way in.
Okay.
Or, I've been messing with this melody.
Mm-hmm.
And we just start throwing stuff out there and see what sticks.
Nice. And are you writing like all day, or is it maybe just like a 2 or 3 hour session?
Yeah, you know what Dean Dillon taught me? If it's going too long and you're not getting it done, start over.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. And so used to, when I was young, I could do 2 a days.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad for your brain.
Yeah, I guess it would be.
Yeah. But yeah, you end up throwing away good ideas sometimes when, you could have saved it for a better day.
Oh, okay. Okay. Can you give me an example of something you may have thrown away that you were like, I should have kept that one?
Well, the day that we wrote The Fool, we were the first day when we were working on it, we had, Gene had that melody, and I was, we were writing a song called Which Way Is Left. And it was like, someone tell me which way is left. I know that's where he's gone. It was terrible. It was a terrible, terrible, terrible song. And so we changed it. We put the melody to the side and we started writing, somebody tell me which way is left. It was still horrible. The song was so bad. And so fast forward, I was driving down the Music Row one day, and a car pulled out in front of me, and I slammed on my brakes, and when I did, a tape flew out from underneath my seat of my car, and it just said melody on it. And I picked it up and I put it in my tape player, and I was on 16th Avenue, and before they built the big Hall of Fame down on 4th, it was on the corner of Music Row right there by the roundabouts.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The lovely statues.
Yeah, I stay at, whenever I go to Nashville, most of the time I stay at the Virgin Hotel. It's right there on that.
Oh, yeah, right there on the corner. You're right next to my office. Yeah, Carnival's right, like caddy corner. It's that blue building. If you look out of the front of Virgin, it's the caddy, the building that's to the right on Roy Acuff.
Okay, awesome.
Right,
awesome.
It's right by Studio B.
Yeah. Yep, I know where that is.
Like across the little side street.
Yep.
But when that melody line hit, I put that tape in, and when that melody hit, I was right there in front of the Hall of Fame, and I just, in my head, I heard, "I'm the fool in love with the fool, still in love with you." And at the time, I didn't have a phone. There was no cell phones at the time.
Sure. Yep.
So all the way home, I just kept repeating it to myself over and over and over again. And when I got to the house, I called Gene and I was like, "Does this make any sense at all?" And he's like, "What?" And I sang it to him. "I'm the fool in love with the fool." And he was like, "Yes, what is that?" I said, "It's that melody we had." I said, "I just got that idea." He goes, "Yes, a girl that's in love with somebody who's still in love with somebody else." I was like, "Yeah." I said, "Next time you come to town, we got to write that." So he was coming to town, and it's so funny because Craig Morgan will tell you this story. I grew up with Craig. We've been friends since we were kids, and
Oh, wow.
so he will tell you. I called him first and said, "Hey, you want to write with me and Gene? On Tuesday or whatever day it was," and he was like, "I can't. I got something else I got to do." And I said, "That's too bad for you." I said, "I got a great idea." That was the idea. But I mean, it was meant for me and Gene and Charlie to write it.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, who
it
knows
just
where it
was.
would have gone if it
Oh my
was
God!
anybody else.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. It would have been a guy song.
Yeah. That's fantastic. That's great. It's so crazy that just because that car pulled out in front of you, that cassette comes sliding out from underneath your seat and changed your life.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, 10 rounds. My friend Heaney was at Jimmy Kelly's in Nashville, and he was sitting at the bar and said some guy walked in and just looked like he had been through it, and said the guy next to him leaned over and goes, "That dude looks like he went 10 rounds with Jose last night." And of course, Heaney was on it immediately. Like he's like, "We're writing that." And so him and Casey and I, we ended up writing it. And when it came out, they put it in Music Row magazine or in the Country Weekly.
Okay.
Where they put the story behind the song in there.
Yeah.
And they put it in there and told that story. Philip Heaney told the story. He was sitting at the bar with his friend Philip, and Philip leaned over and said that about Jose. And Philip called me. He was my friend. He's also from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
He called me and is like, "Marla, the guy that Heaney's talking about sitting at the bar with him, the Philip." He goes, "That's me." And I was like, "Are you serious?" Pretty crazy.
That's awesome. I love it. Okay, so obviously you're in Nashville now. I know you've mentioned Pennsylvania a couple of times. Where are you originally from? Where'd you grow up?
Here.
In Nashville. Okay.
Kingston Springs, Tennessee. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
I'm one of those kids that got to go to Aubreyland.
Okay. Oh, nice. Very nice. That's awesome. For what, like a class trip or something?
Every time.
Every time.
We would get season passes, yes.
Oh, nice.
Our favorite times were when it rained and it ran off all the tourists.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yep.
But we had to sit through, when we were young, going back to Dad not having a job that paid very well, he played the Opry, and we would have to sit through the Opry to get to go into the park.
Oh, okay. All right. Gotcha.
But that's okay. It gave us a love for the Opry like no other people.
Absolutely. Yeah, I did not the last time, but the time before I was in Nashville, I did the backstage tour of the Opry. Such a cool place,
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah, we couldn't stand on stage because they were setting up for like a show that night, but it was still pretty amazing just to be in that building and see kind of all the names that have gone through there. It's amazing. Yeah.
I got to go do Vincent and Daly show.
Okay.
And I was in the Minnie Pearl dressing room.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. I just was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe that I'm getting to be in this dressing room."
Yeah. I had no idea that they filmed Hee Haw there, and I used to watch Hee Haw like crazy when I was a kid. I used to love that show.
I think Pop Goes the Country too.
Oh, really?
He hosted. I think that was back there too.
Okay, yeah, probably, yeah. But it was.
I've been in that studio before when it was. I think Ralph Emery might have did a show there. There was something else there that I'd been there for. Before I was like, I've been in here.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's so cool. All the times I've been in Nashville, I still haven't made it to the Ryman yet, though. So
I got to sing there this past. Yeah,
Did you really?
Yeah, with Ward Davis. He and Cody Jinks were playing, and they did a special night where it was just the two of them on stage with their guitars. They didn't have a band.
Okay.
And
wow.
They just swapped songs, and Ward called me and said, "Will you come sing our song at the Ryman?" And we had gotten a song cut by Willie and Merle.
Okay.
And,
nice. Yep.
So I got to go out and sing on stage there. I about peed my pants. That was something I never thought I'd get a chance to do.
Was that the only time that you
Yeah, well, it's not normal for songwriters to get to go out there
Oh
and
yeah,
sing.
I guess that's
Oddly.
true. Yeah. Yep. That's awesome. I love it. Um yeah. Now so I'm going to ask kind of a touristy question because, because I'm just that way. Do you spend any time on Broadway? I mean, I know Broadway is like, cover band after cover band playing for tips and all that stuff. Do you ever just, I mean, as a resident of Nashville, do you ever just go down there or do you just kind of stay away from that whole
Not a
scene?
lot because
Yeah.
it's so expensive.
Okay.
And I mean, it's like a drink is $30. It's like, that's insane.
Yes.
I mean, I can get a bottle of liquor for twice that much and have 20 drinks. But I took my daughter for her 21st birthday because that's what
Okay.
she wanted to do. And we took one of her best friends for her 21st and
Sure.
got a hotel down there.
Nice.
We go down there for the football games.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
My husband and kids go to all the football games.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
But I was just down there. Emma Zink had her 2 years sober.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember seeing a
And
post
she
about
had
it.
asked me to
Yep.
sing. Yeah, it was at Ashley McBride. So
Oh,
I went over
awesome.
there and sang for that, which was really cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love it.
And and then I play at the listening room a lot. So I'm down that way. We like to eat at Eddie
I
V's,
don't
so we
think
do go to Broadway for that.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever made it to the listening room. Where is that?
It's over on 4th Avenue. You know where Martin's Barbecue is on 4th?
Yes.
It's about another 2 blocks down on
Oh
the left.
wow. Okay.
But it's about a 300 person capacity,
Okay.
and it's a nice room.
Nice. Yeah. I'll have to check it out just to see if I can maybe catch a show.
Yeah,
there
it's really nice because they pay us.
Mhm.
So like we get a pretty good pay to play there.
Nice.
So it's not because we get to be home and
Right.
play there. It's rare to get to make money here.
Is it?
Yeah,
I mean,
we don't
well,
make a lot.
so let's touch on that real quick. So, I mean, as a songwriter, you're getting songwriter credits on songs that are released and played and all that stuff. And I'm not trying to get into specific numbers, obviously, but like, does the bulk of your kind of music making income, does that just come from people cutting your songs and you getting paid that
It
way?
used to,
Okay.
but now with the streaming, it was funny. I was just talking to somebody about this because they said, looking at the publishing
Mhm.
compared to the master pay, what the artist is making on actually having your song out,
Mhm.
we're getting pennies.
Right.
And when
Yeah.
I say pennies, it's like we're struggling for pennies.
Yeah, I bet.
And
Yeah.
they're making bank on
Yeah,
our
the publishers make the majority of the streaming income, is that right?
No, that's what I'm saying. The songwriter part of that is nothing. It is
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
they're not paying us.
Right.
So
Well,
I
I
mean, they're
know
getting like
yeah, I know as a musician myself. Now, granted, I don't have a huge audience, but like, yeah, I mean, I make like 3 cents a month from like Spotify.
Yeah,
You know
it's like, that's what it is. That's what it's like, and it's like that's just for our songs, and they're getting millions of streams.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody's making money on it, but us,
Right.
the
That's
creators
crazy.
of it.
Yep. Yep. Okay.
And
So,
it's all about owning part of the masters of the recordings now. That's the only
Okay.
way you're gonna make any money.
and are you able to do that in like a songwriter?
Some people have,
Mhm.
they know they're songwriters and they know,
Okay.
and they actually offer us a part so that
Oh, okay.
we'll make
Okay.
some money off that. But it's they have to offer it, and not a lot of it's like I'm actually James Otto. I'm working with his daughter Ava,
Mhm.
and she's 15.
Yep.
I think she's 15. She's an amazing singer.
Nice.
And he called me up and he's like, "Will you write with Ava?" He says, "I'm not going to tell you she's green. She's just learning, but she wants to learn." And he says, "And I want her to learn from somebody I know will, be kind to her and
Yeah.
still teach her." And
Right.
and so I'm looking for. I just saw her on my book for 2 more writes, and I'm really excited because
Very
she's
cool.
such a great singer. And our first song turned out so good. But he did before he left us that day. He said, "I just want y'all to know that you will be getting part of the masters on anything that she records of
Oh,
yours."
that's awesome. That's
So it's like,
amazing.
yeah, that's cool. So that
Yeah.
may, ensures us that if she has a hit, we're
Mhm.
going to make money.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah, part of my podcast is really trying to help independent artists kind of find their way in all the different ways you can make income in music, because it's not, to your point, it's not like it was before where it was just like, you get signed to a record deal and that's it. Your life is made. You know what I mean? Assuming that
Yeah.
you sell records, but nowadays with streaming and all that stuff, it's increasingly more difficult to make money as a musician, especially making a living. So you have to have all these different types of ways to make money, whether it's
Right.
playing live or recording or writing or hosting podcasts.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's me. I would have never thought in a million years that I wasn't the singer of the family. Melanie was. And so the thought that I go and sing, so, I mean, I do it all the time now.
Yeah, that's great.
And I mean, I'm very grateful. It's very fun. It's not a job. My friend Josh always reminds me, it's not a job you got to do. It's a job you get to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I try to keep that in mind and be grateful for it, because I'm getting to spend time with my friends. It was hard at first. I didn't start traveling until my daughter got her driver's license. So I knew that they could get away from any situation they needed to. So I didn't have to worry about that. So once that happened, Lucy said, "Why'd you get popular all of a sudden?" I said, "I finally said yes."
Nice. Yeah, I'm a little bit in that same boat. Now, again, I don't have any hit songs on the radio or anything like that, but I do my weekend gigs. I'm a fairly popular cover artist here in South Jersey. So my weekends are packed with gigs, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but I only do those gigs on the weekends that I do not have my kids. I've got 2 little girls at home and I'm a single dad. So on the weekends that my kids are with their mom, then I go out and gig. And then on the weekends that I have my kids, no gigs. It's just me and the kids, so
that's good. That's the most important. That's why you do what you do.
Right. Exactly. So when they're older, when they're teenagers and don't want to hang around with dad anymore, then I might start gigging some more.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you have any big, any kind of projects coming up in the future, or what are you kind of working on for 2026?
I've got an idea for some kids' books that I really would like to do that have music attached to them.
Yeah.
And I actually, I don't know if you know Aaron Ratier, but we were just actually talking about it over the last couple of days. And so I would like to sit down with him. And he, not only is he a great songwriter, but he's an artist.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be really fun to do something like that with him. And my friend Joanna Smith, we were just having these conversations about doing some children's stuff. I love any kind of kids. I love pouring into kids. It makes me happy. Me and my friend Josh had a songwriting class that we did with the kids at school.
Oh, cool.
And oh God, we had the best time in there. We still sometimes out of the blue, one of the songs that they sang just pops in my head, and we start singing.
That's amazing. I love that.
But I have 2 kids. Both of them did theater, and my son writes. He writes amazing songs, and my daughter's in college at UT. She's about to graduate here in a couple of months.
Nice.
And she's going to law school. She wants to do sports law, I think. So
nice.
And then Grady just started Belmont, so he's a freshman.
Awesome. That's great. It sounds like they're doing great. Yeah. Yeah. Mine are young. Mine are 10 and 11 now. No.
Well.
Yeah. 10 and 12, sorry.
10 and 12.
my 11-year-old just turned 12.
Casey Beathard nailed it. You don't blink, because it goes, him and Chris Wallen, because it goes fast.
Yeah, it sure does. It gets faster and faster every day, for sure. Yep. So anyway, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me, Marla. Thank you so much.
100%.
Yeah. Now I know you sent me some links to YouTube, some performances. I'm going to link those in the description for anybody watching on YouTube. Check the description.
And I have a YouTube page where you can find stuff on there too. So
let's talk about that super quick before we wrap up. Like, where if anybody wants to listen to your stuff, how can they find you?
It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Music. You just have to Google Marla Cannon-Goodman. It's either, there's 2 different records. One of them is My Reflection, and the other one is Perfect Imperfections. I didn't even realize that they rhyme, but that's funny. I mean, it's a thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do inflections next.
Yeah, and then that would be great.
Just be noises.
Complete the trilogy, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got a YouTube page. I assume that's Marla Cannon-Goodman.
Yeah, I think so. And then Instagram is Marla C. Goodman Songs.
Yep.
And then I have a Facebook page. And it's Marla Cannon-Goodman.
Awesome. And I'll see if I can get links to all that stuff too, in case anybody's interested in following you on social media. They can just find those links in the description. Other than that, I'm going to be in Nashville again, February 12th through the 15th. It's my
You leave
girl.
on the 15th, or you here the 15th?
I leave on the 15th, unfortunately.
I
Why, you got
I
something
play on
going
the
on?
15th. I play on the
Oh,
9th. I'm
okay.
actually playing at the Station Inn on the 9th with
Yeah, I'm not gonna
Danny
be upset.
Flowers and Sean Camp and Ronnie Bowman. It's going to be amazing. And
Yeah.
you'll have to squeeze in somewhere. I mean, it'll, with Sean and Ronnie both playing, it'll be crazy.
Yeah, I bet.
And then on the 15th, I'm playing with Dylan Altman and Adam Wright, who are both
Nice.
just amazing.
Where's
Like
that show happening?
That's the 15th at 6 o'clock.
What venue though? Where?
The listening room.
Oh, the listening room. Okay. All right. All right, that was it. That was my conversation with Marla. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you got some good advice or tips on maybe what the music scene in Nashville is like, and maybe some ideas on how you can continue your growth as an artist, musician, songwriter, whatever you do. But yeah, I appreciate you guys listening. Make sure you check those links in the description for performances from Marla. Go follow her on all her socials, and I will see you at the next episode of the Music Scene Podcast with Dave Cudrak. Thank you.